everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is gonna be a video in response to what was asked and making a video on showing how to set up the machine. I am very big on learning by doing, so we're just gonna go ahead and take the sewing machine out of the box and we're gonna start threading. If you are an advanced sewer, then by all means you can, move on to the next video. I don't know, maybe watch like a sew along or something. But if you are new to sewing, this is definitely for you. If you have not subscribed, definitely go ahead and do so. Share, like, comment down below, and let's get started. So when you first take that sewing machine out of the box, you should be ready to go ahead and just plug and play. Grab your spool and you're going to slide it down your spool holder. And in the little bag that comes in with the machine, you should have these little stoppers, is what I call them. All you need to do is insert it onto the spool peg in order to keep the spool in place. Now there are different types, but the main focus of this spool stopper is to prevent the thread from being caught on the little rim that is there to prevent the thread from unraveling when you're storing it. Now there are a lot of thread or spools that do not have this because it comes with that circular rim where you simply have to wrap the thread around it. But the spool stopper has two purposes technically: to stop the spool from coming out and to prevent it from getting caught with the little, slants that are there. Once you have it in place, now you are ready to start threading your machine. This is your first step. You hook it into the first latch, hook it into your second latch. From there, make it go down that little slant. But before we continue, I want you to see this back view. The latch has a hook that will enable the thread to stay in place. This latch has a plate that is pressed onto the left side of it, which causes a little bit of tension onto the thread to keep it nice and tight. From there, you're going to go down that slant and back up, and you're going to hook it again through another hook. Remember, everything with your sewing machine is from right to left. Make sure you keep that in mind. A lot of times when you are sewing, and even when you're not, the thread for this hook here will tangle itself and go from left to right instead of right to left. So whenever that happens, it's always best to unthread and rethread your machine. If ever you have if ever you have a tension issue, the best thing to do, the very first step, is to rethread your machine. Now that you have the upper parts complete, you are ready for the bottom portion. So there's one more latch you hook into that is above the needle, and then there's another one at the very top part of the needle. Once you hook it into it, you are ready to thread the needle itself. The little paper, the sticky note that's there, is just so that you could see the eye of the needle better. I went ahead and I grabbed my tweezers. A lot of times, in order for you to get the thread to go into that latch, it gets a little bit difficult. So one of the things I would always say for you to have is a pair of really good tweezers in your sewing kit. If not a pair of tweezers, just like a pair of cotton pliers, as they would call them in dentistry, if you have that background. But from there, with this machine, it has a auto threader. We're going to use that in order for us to thread the machine. So the first thing you're going to do is pull the latch down. Now the one in the back that says push is actually for a button hole maker. So we're not using that. We're just using the one that doesn't have anything on it. Once you pull it down, you're gonna hook that thread onto that little latch that's on the left side, and you're gonna rotate the latch so that the hook that is behind the eye of the needle can go into the eye of the needle. From there, it'll grab the thread, and then you can just use your tweezers or your cotton pliers again in order for you to pull that thread all the way through. I wanted to show you guys a secondary angle. This is a little hook. As you can see, I'm pointing with the seam ripper that goes into the eye of the needle. So holding it back, you can see it, but once you hook your thread, you should angle it so that it goes into the eye of the needle. There are moments where it doesn't pull it into it, and it's because the hook itself is going to the side of the needle instead of into the eye of the needle. So if ever that happens, you can always rotate the hand wheel, which brings up and down the needle itself, in order to get it leveled again. So aside from the needle that needs to be threaded, you also have to fill up your bobbin. So in order to do that, just like before, you're gonna set up your spool into place, and you're gonna follow step 1. From there, step 2 will be a little bit different. You're gonna wound, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, wound the thread around the tension plate with the screw. And then from there, simply insert it into the bobbin. Once you sit the bobbin into its placement, make sure you push it over to the right. Hold on to the thread so that it fills a little bit. When you hold it, it causes the thread to just kind of like lock it into place. That way it doesn't unravel. So I always say hold on to it for a little bit. Now there are some machines where it's preset and you don't have to hold it. It'll just do its own thing and even cut its own thread. But this machine is kind of like part new school and part old school, which is why I like it. It's heavy duty. It kind of has like that commercial feel to it, industrial, but at the same time it's like for at home. But anyway, long story short, once you're done, it will slow down in its movement. When it starts to skip like that, that's when you know it's time to pull it out. So shift it back over to the left hand side, and then from there just clip your thread, and now you're ready to add it into the bobbin holder. So with your bobbin, make sure that the rotation is going counterclockwise. From there, just sit it into place. Mine's fell. Try to be careful. Just make sure that it's going in the right direction, which is counterclockwise. Now, in the bobbin case itself, there's going to be 2 latches right in the front. Make sure that your thread is being hooked onto the first latch. From there, just sit aside. Now, if you're going to be using the same thread for your bobbin as you are using for the needle thread, it's always best that you fill up your bobbin thread first, and then you can set up your needle thread. So this is what I'm doing now. So technically the bobbin thread is complete, and then I went ahead and I rethreaded the whole machine so that my needle thread was all set and situated. Make sure your presser foot is lifted up, and then from there, we're just gonna go through the process again because it doesn't hurt for you to see it twice. Make sure your bobbin is in, counterclockwise, hook it into the first latch, let it hang onto the side. Now, you're gonna hold onto your needle thread, use your hand wheel, rotate it a full rotation, and this will catch the bobbin thread and pull it above the plate through the feed dogs. If you have a pair of tweezers, grab them in order for you to pull the thread all the way through, or you can just use your fingers. From there, just put the bobbin cover back on top. And you are ready to start sewing. Your power button is on the side and you're good to go. That's it. If you have any questions, comment down below. Share, subscribe, like. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the next one.